is a wide area which is all socially mission-driven organizations, all social enterprises, as we would call them at the business school. All organizations that are socially mission-driven fit within, at the business school, our notion of what social enterprises are and our, quote, social enterprise initiative, which I co-chair. But what's within that? Well, there's a bunch of different things in that. There are nonprofit organizations, which are, by law, socially mission-driven. At least in the U.S., that's a requirement of their organizational structure. Government organizations, I'm going to assume, have a social mission, that's what they're supposed to be doing. Empirically, that doesn't always turn out to be true, but at least it's supposed to be true. So how does that relate to being funded through market-based transactions, the key feature of social enterprise? Well, some organizations are partially funded through market-based transactions. Many nonprofits have a significant component that's market-based. I work in just such an organization. Tuition turns out to be actually a pretty important source of revenue in organizations like ours. Not the only one, but an important one. So that's a market-based transaction. Many government organizations now increasingly have market-based transactions. Whether that's a good or a bad thing varies, but that's an important evolution of the environment. So within partially funded by market-based transactions, we can have organizations that are fully funded by market-based transactions. That's a special case, right? All of their revenues come from market-based transactions. And related to that, we've got a group of for-profit, socially mission-driven organizations. That's the narrowest group, the ones that are within this area. It's the for-profits that are fully market-based transaction funded. That narrow oval here would be the part that some people would insist, those are the only ones that are really social enterprises. I urge you to be more generous, more eclectic, to allow others into your group as well. They don't necessarily have to be organized as for-profits, but if they are significantly funded through market-based transactions, that to me would be enough to make them appropriate for our discussion and work and evolution in this setting. So where does that take us? If the question is not exactly how are you organized, the nonprofit versus for-profit question, if that's not, what is the central question? The central question to me is the role that market-based transactions play in the advancement of the organization and its mission. So it's not what type of organization are you, but instead, to what degree are you market-based transaction funded? How much of your funding comes from that source? And key issue, is that actually directly related to your achieving your mission? Or is it something that is separate from your mission? And here's where I want to say there's an important danger and challenge for correct and appropriate design for social enterprises.